Hey, thank you for tuning in. This is Eddie.
And this is Miguel.
And you're listening to the God Life Culture Podcast.
Yes, welcome to our first podcast. We are so excited to be talking to you all and be having this conversations. How do you feel right now? This is our first episode of the God Life Culture Podcast.
Super excited. I mean, this is something that we're excited that God has given us the opportunity to even do. Just to give you a little history, this all came about out of a conversation we had on our way to look for suits for your wedding.
Yes.
We were trying to trade notes on podcasts that are out there. I had asked you, I was like, I've been listening to a couple of podcasts. Do you have any that you suggest? And you suggested a couple, but I think we came to the consensus that a podcast that actually caters to what we like to listen to, what we like to talk about wasn't really out there.
Yeah, and there are great podcasts out there and great organizations and even churches that have podcasts.
Yes. And,
we're not taking anything away from that, but just in our demographic, our even our Hispanic culture and all of those things, we found that there weren't many podcasts out there that kind of suited that.
Yeah.
And we wanted to fill in that gap and stand in the middle. And that's kind of what we're doing right now in the car as we're kind of going back and forth. In my head, I was thinking like, man, we should start one, and I didn't mention it to you that day. We just kind of had that conversation. And then a few days later, we both kind of just had the conversation like, let's just do it.
Yes.
Let's give it a try. And that's what we did. And that's why we're here right now.
That's what we're here. And we know that God aligned everything to happen for a reason in the time specifically that he wanted, because this inclination was put in your heart over a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, I took notes. I still had when I showed you, I still had the date in my iPad when I started taking these notes and writing everything down. And at that time, it really wasn't the time to put it out and to even start it.
Yes. But we see how, God allows things to happen for the reason that he does. Now it's the time that he wanted us to embark on this journey. And we just ask all of you to come along with the ride for us. We're really excited to speak about the bunch of different topics. We're going to be speaking about God's reckless love. We're going to be speaking about reasons why millennials decide to leave the church. We're going to be speaking about shame. We're going to be speaking about many different things.
Yeah, friendships, forgiving, forgetting, all of those things. Christian headlines around the world.
Yes.
Also,
things that are happening in pop culture, things that are happening in the secular world. Yeah. We're going to be talking about everything.
Everything. And one of our goals is definitely to bridge that gap, between being Christians, being believers, but just living in this world and being, having to work and be involved, with people who don't serve the Lord, and how to balance that, and, balancing ministry, balancing friendships, and all of those things. We're just going to talk about it all. So we're very excited.
Yes, and we want to give you from the beginning our email at godlifeculture@gmail.com. This is a place where you guys can send us topic requests. You can send us questions, testimonies, prayer requests, even if you have them and you just need us to pray, join you in prayer in reference to a petition you may have before the Lord. That's what we're here for. You can follow us on Instagram at godlifeculture as well. And just, we're excited.
Yeah, join us definitely. If you have questions, comments, topics you would like to hear discussed, let us know. One of the goals of this podcast as well is to reach all of you who listen. And I know for a fact, growing up, I had questions. Even now, I still have questions and things I think about. And I wonder what other people think about this, or I wonder how other people view this. And this should be a platform where we can talk about those things and definitely give you our perspective, give you what the Bible says, and maybe give you even the other side, and play devil's advocate a little bit and just get us thinking. That's the whole point of this,
Absolutely. And I think that we're definitely Christian, and, we always uphold that before anything else. But I think that we always strive to have a balanced conversation. So we definitely like to see both sides of the spectrum. We like to bring all the facts. And at the end of the day, full disclosure, these are our opinions. So there may be a possibility that we'll have a topic in the future, or a discussion, or something happen where maybe you don't agree with us. And that's okay.
Yes.
We're not expecting everyone to agree with us. We're not expecting everyone to follow our word to the heed. But we do want to create a platform where these conversations can happen.
Yeah.